Imagine a country frozen in time, a place where silence is law, and every smile you see hides 100 rules, where the streets are quiet, too quiet, and no one ever asks why. This isn't dystopian fiction. This is real. This is the world's most secretive state, a land where loyalty is everything and curiosity is a crime. But behind the military parades and choreographed unity lies something much darker. A secret group selected by hand, trained behind locked gates, and bound to serve in ways that are never spoken out loud. This group doesn't appear on government websites. It has no nameplate, no title, but insiders call it something else, a circle of devotion. And what happens inside it, you're not supposed to know. But today we lift the curtain. Each year, across the country, quiet decisions are made. Officials visit schools, not for grades or discipline, but for beauty. Not loud beauty, quiet, delicate, polished. Names are written. Families are notified their daughters have been chosen for an honor. No questions asked. The girls are taken to secluded facilities, luxurious by local standards. Isolated, heavily guarded. Inside, the lessons begin. Not mathematics, not science, but how to sit, how to serve tea, how to walk like you belong beside power. Then, deeper lessons follow. Whispers, gestures, expectations. They are told nothing, only that their loyalty will be rewarded. And so they smile. Because in this country, smiling is safer than asking questions. This circle isn't about protection. It's not about tradition. It's about control. The young women inside are not soldiers, yet they are trained. Not warriors, but weapons of impression, influence, persuasion. Their presence is gifted to high-ranking officials, foreign visitors, trusted insiders. Like a painting hung in a palace to impress a king. Their every movement is a message. This is how much the state loves you. They are not companions. They are symbols. Their value lies in obedience, appearance, and absolute silence. For outsiders, these exchanges look like culture, hospitality. But those inside know the truth. They are currency, and the cost is themselves. There's a number that whispers through the halls of this secret program. 22. That's the usual age when the curtain drops. There's no ceremony, no thanks, just reassignment. Some are matched with officials in arranged partnerships. Others are sent to quiet corners of bureaucracy where they'll blend into gray uniforms and disappear from memory. A few simply vanish. No documents, no trail. In a country where questions cost lives, silence becomes protection. For years, they gave everything: youth, identity, presence. And when they are no longer needed, they're replaced by another face, another name, another silence. The state doesn't erase them. It simply forgets. And that may be worse. Rarely, a whisper escapes the system. A woman who made it across a frozen border, who learned to speak in a language she wasn't allowed to know. One described her first week in training. Day 1, silent stares, a list of posture rules. Day 2, wardrobe fitting, body measurements. Day 3, presentation techniques, no questions allowed. She remembered one official leaning in and saying, "Your presence is not yours. It belongs to something greater." She left everything behind to flee. Not just a building, an identity. And the only thing she carried across the river was her memory. That and the understanding that she had never once been seen as a person. The brilliance of the system is its invisibility. There are no official rosters, no budgets, no press releases. If you ask, it doesn't exist. If you dig, there's nothing to find. but those inside know it breathes. Every official smiles a little too wide. Every visitor is shown a certain kind of loyalty. And the girls, they know better than to speak. Silence isn't just expected, it's required. Not because it's law, but because it's survival. No journalist can confirm it, no defector can prove it. But the stories match, the names change, the routine doesn't. It's a machine made of flesh and fear, and as long as no one watches, it keeps running. There was a moment of hope. When one leader died, some believed this secret circle would fade with him. But in the following years, reports surfaced, not of disappearance, but reconstruction. A new version, sleeker, smaller, smarter. The program was refined, tightened, modernized. The world outside looked away, distracted by missiles and photo ops. But inside, new faces were chosen, new families informed. The cycle continued, only now it was harder to trace, better hidden. Some say the new generation is even more controlled, taught to be invisible, obedient, untouchable. A new kind of presence, more dangerous because it looks like it's not there. Forget politics, forget borders. Imagine it's your sister. She goes to school, she's quiet, smart. Then one day she's selected. Your family is honored, but she never comes home. She never sends a letter, and you're not allowed to ask why. Imagine it's your daughter. At 13, she's told she's going to serve the nation, but no one explains what that means. Imagine hearing her voice in your dreams and never knowing if she's alive. These aren't horror stories, they're routines. And the worst part, most people will never know they existed because the best kept secrets wear smiles. You've made it this far. That means something. You've seen past the polished images, past the parades, past the performances. You've looked into a truth that millions are forced to forget. But what you do now matters even more. You can scroll away, pretend this didn't shake you, or you can become part of a circle that isn't hidden, that isn't silent, and that doesn't erase truth. Because here, we uncover what's buried, we name the unnamed, and we tell the stories that were never supposed to leave the room. So if you care, really care, subscribe, leave a comment, share this with someone who thinks they know how the world works, because silence is their weapon, and attention is ours. And if you leave now, you might forget. But those who stayed, they'll know what comes next.